welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. And you know what else I do love, Jack? I do love my cup mug. And you can get your cup mug at LanaGsCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period. Damn.
And hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel. And Jim Jeffries keeps getting cut off every week. It's new week, new snake, same bullshit that's gonna happen anyway.
That sounds about right to me.
I'm really trying to love this season. I really am, but the schedules are screwing it over, and this gameplay, although it seems like it's moving in directions, ends up being so stagnant that we end up seeing predictable things happen every single week. Ah.
It is interesting thing that is going on in this game, and we're going to talk all about it. But before we do, we ask that you hit the subscribe button while you're here because we are giving out content almost every single day. Got content from the snake, we got content from Big Brother, we got content from Project Runway. Some coming soon, we'll have Survivor Australia. We'll then have Survivor US and Amazing Race. We got a lot going on and more shows to come. Destination X UK is a show that we're doing. We just wrapped up Destination X US. Now we jump right on the same bus to go to Destination X UK. We never left Europe. Me and Jack never left Europe. We just got off one bus and jumped on another and continued our journey.
This whole thing is a green screen. We're just constantly on a bus. It makes audio quality really, really tough to manage, but we make it work.
We make it work, but boy, am I sick of this bus. I tell you what, I need more space. Anyway, um, we're doing a lot of things here at the Cup TV, and it would help us out immensely if you would subscribe because we are trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. We're almost there. We're halfway there on this channel, almost there on our other channels. So on our main channel, actually. So please subscribe. A lot of fun things unlock when we get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And then go subscribe to all of our other channels, our main channel where we discuss drag or drag race, anything drag at the Cup Pod. If you like anything Eurovision Song Contest at the Cup ESC, that channel is doing well. Once the Eurovision season pops off, they will constantly bring out videos for you. So you check out that channel. And if you are a fan of WWE wrestling, which I know a lot of us have mixed feelings after this past weekend, very
Yeah, very
mixed
mixed.
feelings about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to continue to cover it because we go continue to call them out on their bull. Even we're going to celebrate those who need to be celebrated and call them out on their bull when they need to. And this weekend, they need to be called out on it. But at
Mm-hmm.
the Cup ringside is the place for you if you are a fan of that. So check it out, and we appreciate you very, very much. Now, Jack, let's get into it because it happens.
We were
Ugh,
genuinely so close. We had all of the potential things lined up for this game to be shaken up, for new sides to essentially form. No, we basically had to go with the option that everyone could have called if they had seen last episode and then been told, hey, who goes home next?
I mean, honestly, I think, and this is just me personally, I think this episode actually did what you just described. I think this episode gave us a chance to shake things up a little bit. It opened the door for a lot of different people in my eyes to take this game. It did it in a way that maybe it was a little like weird to get to that point, but overall, I think the episode did what it was supposed to do. It was a little luck, a little rudimentary in the challenge. It was very like simple and you know very Big Brother hides a veto type without destroying the
Mm-hmm.
house type of challenge. We just lost Christine. Christine is gone, so nobody's surprised and nobody's sad that she's gone because they're like whatever. Because
She
they wanted
was
her
she was
gone.
all our targets because
She
we
just knew.
never gave her a chance because she came in late. And now we all want to do that exact same thing again and target John because
Absolutely.
he came in late. And oh, he's actually a politician, and that's the excuse we're going to use to target him.
Absolutely, because we can't trust a politician at all. At all. And but Christine says, hold on, let me give John an advantage. Because she was like, he knows what it's like to be the underdog in this house and targeted for no reason at all. So Christine decides to give him the advantage. We all knew that was going to happen. I'm like, who else would she give it to? The only person who actually showed her any type of appreciation or loyalty in this game was
Mm-hmm.
John. And so she gave the advantage to John. And then we'll find out what his advantage is once we get to the challenge. But even before we get to the challenge, everybody's ready to target John except Frank and Alyssa because they're like, look, we want to work with John. There's no reason to not work with John. So let's keep that train going. But everybody else was okay with John being the target. Uh we
Yeah,
get to the we get to the challenge and literally like we said, if you watch Big Brother and you've seen hide and go veto, that's pretty much what this was, except you didn't have to mess up the house and they didn't have to hide their own veto. They just the producers hid this, gave them clues to where these muskrats were they or what?
mongoose.
Mongooses. I was like, what are muskrats or I couldn't remember. Mongoose, where they were hidden. These statues of mongoose because mongoose can eat a snake.
Yeah. Literally, the only reason I know this is because of one board game where it's snakes, and then a mongoose is always telling the truth. So, board gaming helps for some reason.
Mhm. Yeah, Jack. I love that you got that knowledge because I had no idea. So the reason I learned is because watching this show. So mongoose eat snakes, and so they're like, there's the only ones who can eat a snake. I guess that's great.
Sure.
Sure, but they have to go find these statues of a mongoose in different places that hidden around the house. They get clues and they go. Now, for me, the highlight of this challenge was Alyssa just showing that she is very smart and very can pick up on clues and understand these riddles because she got it a few times. I want to say like 3 times she found the
Three, yeah.
mongoose. And I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, I mean, I will say some of them were very much like, oh, that clue doesn't make sense. Like, just 3 feet up. Oh, we're actually talking about a rose bush that's over there. Why does that relate to the clue? Who knows? Alyssa finds it anyway.
She just happens to stumble up on it. But um so we go and Brett finds the first mongoose in the stove because it was where it's hot. He finds this in the stove. He tries to eliminate John. And John's advantage comes into play here because John has one round of being blocked, and that was the round he needed to be blocked, so he was safe. And Brett had to choose somebody else, and so he chooses Amanda to go. So Amanda's out first, followed quickly behind by Brett because John finds it. No, Alyssa finds it
Alyssa
and
finds this one.
get rid of and John is right there. It's like get rid of Brett. She does. So Brett is gone. And then John
McLean finds the next one.
McLean finds it. She gets rid of Catherine. And Catherine is a little shocked because the reason McLean did it is because her and Jack had a conversation earlier where Jack was pointing, or yes, last night and earlier, pointing out the fact that Catherine has lied to everybody, lied to both of them, and ooh, I had that tried to get me. Uh, oh, she tried to. She was like, Catherine's been lying, and so Mac is like, I don't want to have to deal with anybody who is playing both sides. Blah blah blah. So Catherine's surprised that it was Mac, but Mac had her reasonings for getting rid of Catherine. So Catherine's gone, and then the next John finds it, and
Alyssa
no,
again.
Alyssa finds it again
Uh,
and gets rid of
for some
Jordan.
reason, yeah. No, she gets rid of Jack. The thing is, like, we
No,
speed. Really?
no, I think because John gets rid of Jack because John is like, I'll keep your girlfriend,
Oh, that's right. Yep.
but I'm gonna
My
get rid
brain
of
is not
you.
working.
That, but I know John gets rid of Jack, and then Alyssa gets rid of Derek, and then Alyssa gets rid of Jordan because she's like she's tethered to Catherine, and she doesn't want
Yeah.
Catherine to win or get saved, so she gets rid of Jordan, and then it comes down to John, Alyssa, and Frank. The three people working together anyway.
I mean, the three of them basically controlled this entire thing, other than Brett attempting to take out John, being told no, and then taking out Alyssa, McLean taking out Catherine, and then was it Jordan who takes out McLean or someone else?
No, Alyssa takes out McLean.
Oh, Jordan ends up taking out Jack, right?
Oh
I
no,
can't remember.
Jordan takes out McLean. You're right. Jordan takes out
Okay,
McLean.
but yeah, I mean, Alyssa and John literally have like almost all of the control here, and no one
Hmm.
try, and only Brett tries to get rid of John at any point. So this is essentially a really fun kind of like inadvertent steamroll for the three of them to just go, well, I guess we
Well,
win.
right. Guess we win. And then they're like, when it got to the three, they were like, we will all take each other one, two, three at the top. So, no worries. But it came down to Frank and John, and John ends up getting the snake. And I'm like, oops, started from the bottom.
I will note specifically that Frank throws the final round intentionally to be like, no matter
Oh,
what, a move is going to technically have to be made here. John can make that move. I don't have to do anything. So that
absolutely.
works for me. John did my dirty work. Which
And John was happy to do.
I will
John,
say, I think if anyone technically wins this whole episode, absolutely it's Frank. We're given a
absolutely.
motive for him to win the entire show. We see him playing really smart strategically. He's always been in a really good position. Like,
Hmm.
very, very subtly, I think we're being pushed into a Frank win for this entire game.
Hmm. The shift happened today, and and for reasons now we know why. But the shift definitely happened in this episode for Frank. It was like, okay, push Frank up so people can start saying Frank is smart, Frank is
Mm-hmm.
strategic, Frank is making moves, and we starting to see that a lot more. So I'm like, okay, all right. Um, but I also see this as even a push for Alyssa as well in this episode. I feel like they're pushing Alyssa and they're pushing Frank up to
Mm-hmm.
the front as being strategic players, being strong competitive players. And yeah, I think that shift is happening because a lot of players or people who we thought maybe in the beginning was running this game is starting to lose their sparkle. They're starting to lose their place and their footing in this game, and it's becoming very apparent that they don't have the control that they think or thought they had in this game. But we we see John win the snake, and immediately John, I don't know what the equivalent to. HOH itis for the snake is, but whatever it is, John got it.
Yeah,
Because this man was literally walking around like, ha, he was the top of the tops. He was gonna be king of the world forever. And he was, you're gone. And I'm gonna call this meeting and we're gonna all talk together. And like I'm gonna have individual conversations with every single one of you for 3 minutes and I have questions and I just want you to be honest with me. And here's my thing. I didn't think that was a bad thing to do, but the house hated it. And I was like,
I I think it was because it was just so public and brazen of just like, hey, I am going to pull everyone aside. You are going to talk to me for 3 minutes and we're gonna have a conversation and everything that I hear is going to influence what I do.
mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, we've seen a very similar situation to this week if you've been watching our Big Brother coverage with Riley's HOH interrogation. Funnily enough, it's also 3 minutes long and being able to talk to everyone. But here, John is kind of like, he even says it to us like, no, I'm doing this to try and get as much information as possible and then make a house and then determine a house target. He does it in such a way where it's very obvious he just wants control of the whole game and wants as much information to move forward when he already doesn't have enough social position to do that in the first place. So this was never going to work out.
But here's the thing though, he doesn't have the social power or capital to do that. But how was he supposed to get any? And winning the snake gave him an opportunity to do that. He had to like because honestly, he couldn't just go and be like, "Hey, I want to talk to you for a second and talk to and because some people are just like only want to talk to him because he's a snake because they didn't want to talk to him before. They only wanted to talk to him because he was a snake. So it's like, all right, well, if that's the case, if y'all only go talk to me because I'm the snake, let's just do it out. I'm gonna do it out loud. I'm gonna do it publicly. I'm gonna let y'all know we all gonna talk, so I can come up with a decision because I don't know because he doesn't know the dynamics of the people in his house because they never talked to him. So I
But
don't think he had a choice.
I th- the idea of talking to everyone and making sure that you can get a house target, that was smart. I do
Hmm.
think the issue, unfortunately, was him publicly declaring it. Because at that point it's like, well, he's a politician, he's doing this so politically, like he unintentionally fed into all of the stereotypes versus if he kind of just didn't announce this plan, maybe
Hmm.
he could have gotten away with it.
Oh,
that
okay,
that's the critique, but
okay,
I
okay,
mean,
Jack. Jack, let me ask you a question. With this group of people, if this man would have not publicly declared it and walked around and just said, "Hey, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you," do you think they would have been that would have dispelled the "oh, he's a politician" conversation?
oh, absolutely not, but maybe he's not as much of a public target.
No, they would have still did it. They would have still did
they
it. They
they
would have
still would have done it, but
because Brett couldn't let it go. Brett couldn't stop talking about him being a politician. That man could
yeah.
have done everything the right way. He could have just walked up and like, "Hey, conversation I want to have with you. Want to? If anybody wants to talk to me, I'll be here." He could have did that just like everybody, and they still would have like, "That's such a politician move. He's just trying to smooth us and make everybody feel comfortable with him. He's such a politician. Like he could have did it the right way. He could have did it his way. He could have did it any way out of the sun, and they still would have villainized him for being a politician. And he would have still been a
That's fair.
snake. He still would have been slithering around. If he would have asked people individually, "Hey, can we go talk? Hey, can we go talk?" Look at him politicking over there. Look at him over there just trying to shake hands and kiss babies. He's just politician. He's snaky. I want to make a public declaration. Everybody come talk to me. We have 3 minutes go. Look at him being a politician. He's just sneaky. He's just so like anything he would have done, he would have been a sneaky politician.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just don't
There,
believe that he
yeah.
I just don't think he had any. There was a lose. He was in a lose lose situation with this group of people because they didn't trust him from get go because he came in late and he's a politician. So it's like this man could not win for losing with these people. So
Yeah. I mean, would it have maybe changed something? Maybe. Would he have still gotten this reputation no matter what he did? Probably.
Probably. But I do see what you're saying, though. I do agree that maybe people would have not, but it would have always been certain people that would have just always felt that same way about him, regardless of what he did, in
Yeah.
my opinion. But he does have these conversations with everybody, 3 minute conversations, asked everybody the same questions. He wasn't deviating from it. He asked everybody the same questions. Who do you want to eliminate? Who do you want to save? Who would you save? And he asked everybody the same questions. They all gave the answers. And then he did something that I found to be very ironic.
Yeah.
I was like, why did you do that? What's the purpose of the game here? But he pulls in Jordan and Catherine, and he's like, hey, I just want to be honest with y'all. I'm gonna tell you, the house consensus is I'm putting you both in the snake at the end, in the pit, and one of y'all going home.
Why would you say this to them? Two, why would you say this to them with so much time left on the clock that they're just gonna go run and scream for the remainder of the episode? Like,
That's the kind of
uh
those the kind of conversations you have 5 minutes before you gotta leave.
huh. Yeah, it'll
So
rile them up at the saving ceremony, but like,
at that point, it's too late. The plan is in motion.
but also if he's having this conversation, he must want to, I don't know, just like save them, make sure this doesn't happen. That's the reason he's telling them this, right? Right? No, he's gonna do that. Oh my god.
I was just wait, what? So now I'm like, okay. But then not only do you do that, you then are like, when they're like, hey, if you do this, we're numbers for your people who you are working with, Frank and Alyssa, we're numbers for them. And if you get us, we're one of us, we're losing a number for that side. And he's like, well, I already told them and they're okay with it. Hello? What do you mean you're going to throw your number ones, your allies, even though you know you're number three in their group? What do you mean you're going to throw them under the bus and say that they said that it was okay? I mean, which they did. They did say it. They were like, he told them to play, and they were like, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Because what were they going to do? Talk him out of it? And then it looks like they are going against him.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, they said it was fine. But you threw them under the bus. And now Jordan, who has made a semi-pact with them, is confused. Like, why would they be okay with this? But the only reason they're okay with it is because they know Jordan wasn't going home. They didn't make a pact with Catherine. They made a pact with Jordan. But Jordan is so stuck up Catherine's butt that she couldn't see past that. So now she's pissed. And she's running around the house. Who's lying? Who's lying? You're a liar. You're a liar. Da 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 da. And I'm like, girl, if you don't calm down, nobody's sending you home. You're like a goat in this game. Like you don't nobody
You
is threatened
you
by
are
you.
currently just a bridge in the same way that McLean is currently a bridge for Jack. Like, you, unfortunately, and I don't ever like basically talking about someone like this on a show because everyone should have strategic agency. You have no strategic agency. You are being dragged down by Catherine like
Hmm.
a buoy tied to an anchor. And literally, if you do not cut yourself off, you are going to be the target next week. Well, actually, in 2 weeks, because no matter what, John is the target next week. But
Right.
if John isn't targetable, you're the next target now. Congratulations.
Right. It's just like and I
Uh,
understand us watching it is different from them being in it. So she doesn't see that. But
mhm.
man, it is so
It's
crazy.
so
So
painful.
it's painful. She's so into protecting Catherine and her their dynamic and their duo, even when the whole house is against Catherine. Like you sometimes got to break the ties when you see the ship is sinking. You have to cut the rope loose so you don't sink with it. And she refuses to do it. And she's very loud and bold about her and Catherine's relationship that they are so tight and they will always protect each other. So it's just like, well, it's either we the only way we can get to her is to make sure you don't have any power to save her. So that is why you're going to be at the bottom. But she was so mad. But the fact that John threw Frank and Alyssa under the bus as well didn't sit right with me because I was like, but those are the people who you're supposed to be working with. You could have been like, the house said it, the house wanted it gone. I would have put it on McLean and I would have put it on Amanda. I would have put it on Derek. Like I would have put it on all everybody else. And not I'm like, oh well, I will talk to them, but this is what I wouldn't have said I already talked to them and
Yeah.
they're okay with it. I'm gonna say I didn't tell them because I didn't want them to try to talk me out of it, but I'll find out and then I'll make my decision like after that. But he does not know how to look, I thought he was a politician. Why couldn't he lie his way out of
Yeah.
that?
And oh, surprisingly, everyone is now pissed at Jordan, everyone is now pissed at Catherine, and everyone is pissed at John for John essentially doing this. So
Wow.
John's move to tell the people that he's essentially targeting, you will be in the bottom two and one of you is going home, essentially implying Catherine.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, let me just let those two blow up my position even further, at this point putting me in the Earth's core.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's smart. That's a good idea.
But before I failed to realize, well, not failed to realize, but what I did glance over was they had videos from family today also thrown in the mix of
Oh,
all
yeah.
this foolishness and chaos. I honestly, it was just typical family video calls. Oh, mom's here. Oh, that's my dad. Oh, that's my baby and my wife. It was nice. It was sweet. It was John's parents, though, reading the script.
Oh
They
my god.
they were literally had their paper in front of them or whatever they were holding, and they were like, "John, we are so proud of you. Thank you have done a wonderful job on this show. We really hope that you are having a great time, and we can't wait till you get home. See you soon." I was just like,
Oh my god. Um, why did it sound like they were being held at gunpoint?
it literally was the stalest, driest, no emotion. Like, do they even like you, John? Do your parents even like you?
Genuinely. I was
That
like, did they fucking hate him?
it just really felt very like, what is that? And I'm sure they're lovely people. I'm sure they're lovely people, but they are the most non-emotional people for a parent, like a video call for their child who is gone away for a while to do a show. Like, you had no emotions. Like, watching it, like everybody else, I was like, "Oh, oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's sweet." His, I was like,
I don't think you could have sunk your game more, but somehow them giving y'all your family messages made you more of a politician. I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed.
it was the
Ugh.
craziest thing. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen a drier family call in my entire life of watching reality television, and I have watched a lot of years of reality television. I've seen several family calls and family moments, and this was the driest, stalest, non-emotional, emotionless family call I have ever heard in my entire life. It was just like they were bad actors reading a script. It's like he wrote it himself, like just in case y'all I get to the family visit, this is what you have to say.
Genuinely, I cannot understand if they were not reading off a script what happened.
It was bad. It was bad all the way around. But Amanda's mom was funny. She was like, sorry dad couldn't be here. He fell asleep. I was like, oh,
Oh,
dad, oh, you couldn't wake up dad? Like you couldn't wake him up like, hey, let's do this video. Like, okay, well, whatever.
whatever.
But anyway, that was a blip in honestly it was a blip in my memory because I was like, not that important. Let's get back to the game. So we do go to the snake pit. And
Yay!
we go to the snake pit. And things are going according to plan. John picks Alyssa. Alyssa picks Frank. Frank picks Amanda. Amanda picks Derek. Derek picks Brett. And then Jim says, hold on, stop, wait, hold up. There's a twist here for whatever reason. And
We know the reason. Let's
I
be
personally,
real.
I said, oh, so we don't want Catherine to go. So production is going to throw in a twist to say Catherine shouldn't go because they know Catherine is the target, and they know that if everything goes to plan, they're going to lose the one person on this show who is actually strategically manipulating most of this house the entire time. So we have to put a stop to Catherine going because everybody else, if Catherine is gone, this game is
Boring.
Mm, pretty much. It's just the personalities are gone. So we need to
But
make
we
a
can't
stop.
make it too obvious though.
Oh,
Like
no, no.
we can't just randomly have her find an extra mongoose in the house and be, well, this actually also kills the snake. You're now the snake. Congratulations. We can't do that. Um Blind luck?
Sure. Let's do that. So we're going to pull straws, but we're going to pull snake heads and snakes on a stick, apparently. And if you pull the stick with the longest stick, you win. So
Sure.
Jordan, Jack, McLean, and Catherine are down at the bottom, and they have to go pull sticks. So McLean goes first. She pulls the stick. Jordan goes next. She pulls a longer stick. So McLean is back in the pit. Jack goes next, and he picks a shorter stick. So he's back in the pit. And then so it comes down to Jordan and Catherine. Catherine pulls her stick, and it's just shy of Jordan's stick. So
Okay.
this whole plan to try to keep Catherine backfired because now you're keeping Jordan instead.
It's like great. The only other I mean, Jordan was never going home. This twist literally just does nothing except basically at least opens the door for Catherine to have an interesting person to go against. But yeah,
Yeah, because
sure.
now the power goes back to Brett, who was last picked, and his plan going into this, he was supposed to pick McLean first, and then Jack will get picked. But now that Jordan is safe and it's down to McLean, Jack, and Catherine, they know that if Jack is in that pit when it comes back to John, John probably will pick Catherine to stay and Jack to go. So therefore, Brett chooses Jack instead, and it's McLean and Catherine in the bottom two. Eh,
This decision at least makes sense strategically
yes,
because no one's taking out McLean the same way no one is taking out Jordan. It doesn't make any sense.
it does not. And for the first time since this series started, I was like, "Dang, I
Oh.
was I was wrong and upset about this." But he sends Catherine right on out the door. And I was like, I'm gooped and gagged that they actually let her go.
I will say, Catherine has very much been on like a downward spiral for the
Yeah.
past 3 episodes where everyone is just like slowly but surely clocked her completely of like, oh, you've been a mess this whole time and have lied to everyone for no reason.
And it
So,
was last week for no reason. She didn't have to lie to Christine. She didn't have to lie to Jack, but she chose to do it and then publicly choose someone completely different. And it made no sense. It just exposed her as the game player that she is. And I was like, well, I knew last week, I was like, she is not long for this world. Even though at the beginning she was my winner pick, after last week, or really after when she got called out by Pastor Jacob, her spiral started then. And I was like, yeah, she is
yeah.
not long for this world in this game. But I have to.
Honestly, the best way I can describe her playing this game is like anyone with like a sense of competence attempting to like go into like one of those Roblox survivor games and just like try and manipulate a bunch of kids.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, there's like two people who know each other, and boom, it's like, well, this person's a liar. Everyone just vote him out, and everyone's like, okay. Like
Absolutely.
genuinely, it just felt like a complete implosion on that level. So,
Yeah, it definitely was. I'm sad that Catherine is gone. I really thought she was going to be my winner pick. But I do think, like I said earlier, I do think Catherine leaving opens the door for a lot of different people to step into that role of winning. And like we said, Frank and Alyssa have really put themselves in a position where we feel like they're getting pushed for the winner edit. And I would not be surprised by that. It's certain people who I'm just looking like, you still don't have a chance. I'm still looking at Derek as a possibility to win this game, and Frank and Alyssa may. No, I think that's about it. Everybody else does
yeah,
not have a chance for me in this game. I don't see Amanda pulling it out. She doesn't have enough social capital in this game to do it. Derek can't win
yeah.
everything, and she hasn't won anything. Um, McLean, come on. Come on.
McLean has no agency, unfortunately.
Jordan
Jordan
the same
lost her
way.
only ally.
Jack and Brett are public enemy number one and two and three with John.
Yeah, I would honestly say Jack is like much more of a very public threat that we've seen nothing other than like big, strong. Brett,
Hmm.
at least we've seen have different connections and be willing to play the game more.
Right.
So Brett over Jack, but that's not a
Yes.
high bar to clear.
But yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting. And then we see the previews for next week. It's literally go in a mud pit, collect some coins, and put it in in your box to try to get the most coins. And of course, John is going to put most of his into all of his into Frank's because he doesn't want it, but he wants his ally to have the snake power. So
If
makes
I had
sense
to
to
take a
me.
guess, John probably gets disadvantaged by Catherine or something.
Probably
Or either that happens or Catherine gives an advantage to
to
Jordan
Jordan.
and Jordan is publicly targeting John. So no matter what.
Yeah, either way. But we will see what happens next week because honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel
I don't
like
know.
I still like the game. I still like the game. I'm interested to see where it goes now that Catherine is gone. So I'm interested in seeing it next week. But I don't know. This episode just frustrated me, but made me intrigued for next week. That doesn't even make sense, but it does.
Yeah. I mean, next week the snake is actually secret and no one knows what they're doing, which is probably going to lead to the exact same thing happening where either John is going out or Jordan is going out. Like,
Yep.
and if one of the two of them wins, the other person just goes out. Okay.
Good.
And then the week after that, probably the other person goes out.
Right. It's
Lana,
just
Do you
Yes.
honestly know what is more interesting? So,
What's
right before, not next week's episode of The Snake, but the week after that, if you just like watch the show before that, you can actually watch me play a game.
Ooh.
So, if you just happen to watch the 1% Club's episode on the 19th, you might see me, just a little something, to make the snake watching more interesting. Since you're already going to be watching that anyway.
Well, I am going to be tuned into the 1% Club for sure. And I hate we didn't cover the whole season. We should have covered the whole season, Jack.
It
You should have told me.
politely, it's not a show that's really worth covering
Okay,
because
okay,
it's
okay.
it's very much a quiz show compared to this, but
Okay.
maybe we'll at least talk about that episode because it's an interesting episode at the very least.
We might have to have a conversation. I might have to interview you, Jack, for
Oh
this episode.
no.
I might have to get some questions together and ask some
Oh, just
questions.
just a little tell all of what happened, all that.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see.
we'll see. We might do a special something. We'll see. But yeah, so y'all heard it. Watch the 1% Club so you can see our one and only Jack be on the show and have some quiz time, and look. We can see what happens. Though, see how much money I'm gonna ask Jack for next week. I can see how much I can ask him tomorrow, but um, we'll check that out. But then we'll also be back to talk about the snake as usual. And so, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go and do so on your way out. We are trying to get our goal of 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. If you watch us here as we cover all things competitive reality television, and then go subscribe to all of our other channels. All those things will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreons, where you can follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can also follow Jack and myself on those same places if you like. And you can also find the link to get your mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And that's it. We're gonna get out of here. We're done talking about the snake, but trust us, we got a lot more things to talk about. So we're gonna go make more content. You just click on the next video and watch us some more. And subscribe though. Subscribe. That's the most important. So Jack, I guess I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week as well. Cheers.
Cheers.